Hey guys, welcome back. It's Isolation Gamer 05 and back at you again with another episode of our F1 2020 My Driver Career Mode, episode number 7 today for the Chinese Grand Prix. If you missed the last episode, it's probably a good thing you missed it. It was pretty bad. Anyway, okay, so here's a huge mistake I made. So a few months ago, I was really stressing out about engine reliability, and I didn't realize that the engines you didn't really have to start worrying until it was around 70-80%. So I was seeing things like this 50%, and I was stressing out. I was worried my engine was just going to blow up during a race, so I ended up just switching it out. Terrible mistake. And also I purchased a perk to go up to level 2 in terms of reducing my engine wear by 10%. Yeah. Anyway, here we are, and this is our first invitational event of the season. And so we'll be driving the Red Bull RB6, Sebastian Vettel's first title-winning car for Red Bull. So here we are, and for the first time, I'm just going to shut up and let all of you F1 fans appreciate this unadulterated V8 sound. And there we are, that's a lap of Zandvoort. We'll actually be returning here in our next episode for the Dutch Grand Prix, so a nice little tease as to what's to come, but man, this RB6, it's so much more planted than the Alfa Romeo, which kind of says a lot considering this car is 10 years old at this point, and the sound of that V8. I wasn't watching Formula 1 around this era, so I was not exposed to the sounds of a really proper throaty engine, but this is just something else. Like, the V6 turbos, yes, they are better for the environment, but you just can't replicate a noise like that. But we have to make sacrifices. Anyways, we've completed the invitational event. We've exceeded the minimum distance we needed to travel, and so we're back at the Alfa Romeo base, and we decided to buy an engine cover upgrade, a minor weight reduction upgrade for our car because we need it, and we'll have it in time for the Dutch Grand Prix no matter what we do. So we decided to just play it safe and just do a standard development cycle, and as we progress time, we get some more weekly resources, and our gearbox upgrade, reliability upgrade fails, so we have to redo it, which is not helping my anxiety around reliability on the car. And here we are into the race weekend, but before we enter, we decide to buy a minor front downforce upgrade for the aero package of our car, which won't be ready for the Chinese Grand Prix, so we just gotta go with it. And as we enter the race weekend, it looks like it's going to be a dry qualifying and a dry race, which is good, very good. Anyway, I decided not to show much of the interviews, but here we are. We have to choose a rival for the season, so which will help us get more acclaim. We can choose between Vettel, Kvyat, Ricciardo, or Verstappen. And I can tell you right now, Vettel and Verstappen just aren't on the table. So it's between Kvyat and Daniel Ricciardo. And while in the last video, they were thinking we were going to have a rivalry with Daniel Ricciardo, we actually just go with Kvyat because he's easier. Let's head into the race weekend. And here we are into the race, into Q1, and we're running a default setup 4, which is increased top speed setup. Hopefully it's suited for this track. Anyways, here we are. We're going around turn 4 right now, heading onto the straight of turn 5. No, this is turn 5. See, I really should memorize these circuits. Anyways, heading into turn 6, and we missed the apex humongously there. And so that kind of offsets us as we head into this almost flat out turn 7, but we just don't have the downforce, so we just end up going wide, and we lose time there, and it really just sets us up for the rest of the lap. But we still finish in P4, surprisingly. But we drop down to P6, wow, we drop all the way down to P9, and, well, I just wasn't very satisfied with that lap, so we decided to go out again for another qualifying lap. Here we are, we're heading again into turn 7, and this time I remember to lift off, so we hit the apex a lot better on that run. But heading into the weird chicane of turn 8 and in turn 9, and we just don't set ourselves up for a good run into turn 9. Heading out of turn 10, and we kind of pull something together, but by the end of the lap, we cross the line of 30 seconds left in Q1 to finish in P5. So we do go up a bit, and that's where we stay, which is good. Alex Albon, I know it's Q1, and Q1 isn't really representative of the final grid order because, yeah, it's just there's so much room into the next session. But Alex Albon at 9th, after such a strong showing in the first part of the season, is pretty weird. That being said, Gio is down in 17th, and Kvyat misses out on Q2, which is good for us in our rivalry with him. Anyways, here we go onto the very long back straight, and we miss our braking zone heading into turn 14. And yeah, we go way too deep in. We missed, like, it's so easy to miss your braking zone, but thankfully that was the out lap. So here we are. We're heading into the same corner on the end of our qualifying lap for Q2, and we actually nail the braking zone, but we don't finish very well on the turn 16 corner. Very easy to go wide there. Yeah, well, you have to be on your braking zones. Anyways, we headed back to the garage, but we go down 2 spots. We finished in P4, so we have to go out again, and we do a far better job of hitting the apex of turn 16. It was across the line at the very end of qualifying, and we get 4th. So we regained the position we had at the end of our first run, which is what you want to see. Vettel on the very edge of getting knocked out, and Hamilton's in P7, but he qualified on a medium compound, which means that he's going to get a free choice of tires heading into the race, which is good for him. He has an extra pair of new softs. And the Haas drivers doing well to get out of Q1, but the very tail end of Q2. Anyways, here we are. Lewis Hamilton says the fastest lap of Q3 as we head out on our first run, and we go wide again. It's so easy to go wide on turn 16. As we cross the line, we finish in P4, but we drop down to P6 towards the end of Q3. So we decided to go out again, and this is when I go the fastest. This is my fastest qualifying lap. So we'll show the entire thing as we head into the first corner, turn 1, which is a very long, weird. It's like parabolica, but just tighter. And this is that was turn 2 because it tightens up. And turn 3, like it's such an awkward corner because you still have to carry speed through that corner, but as it gets tighter and tighter, it's just very, very, you have to be very wary on the amount of power you put if you want to hit those apexes, as I failed to do there, and we lose all the time that we gained in the first sector, which puts us in red. Not a very good job around turn 7, but here we are. We head into the chicane of turn 8 and 9, and pretty good turn 8. Turn 9 is okay. We do gain some time back, but we lose it immediately because of our exit. We have it all to do now. It looks as if we're going to have 2 red sectors. So, yeah. At this point, I was kind of wondering whether or not I'd put the wrong clip up for my fastest lap. And we drop down to P6. So here we are. We have it all to do in the last sector. We have the very long straight. We get a great slingshot out of turn 13, and you're going to see me get a good slingshot out of that corner a lot, and it's very imperative, especially considering how long this DRS straight is. And as you can see, we gain about 2/10 just by hitting the braking zone of turn 14 and 15, and pretty decent turn 16 as we head towards the line. Let's see where we end up. We get purple third, so that's promising, but in the end, we don't improve from the position we were just in. So we're going to go into this race in P6. Yeah, pretty standard front row with Bottas and Verstappen. Vettel is on the second row, which is strange considering the 2020 season he's had, hoping he does better this coming season. And Albon's just ahead of us, so it's pretty standard front of top 10, but let's see what we can do in the race.
It's time to find out which driver is up to the task of claiming the Chinese Grand Prix. We're here in Shanghai. We're here in the Yangtze River Delta today, home of the 16 corners that make up the Shanghai International Circuit. 54% of this 3.3-mile lap is taken at full throttle, and we'll be getting up to speeds of around 200 miles an hour, with DRS assisting the cars down the back straight before they brake into the sharp hairpin at turn 14. And with me, as usual, is Anthony Davidson. Now, I want to talk to you about Valtteri Bottas. That was a great win in the last race. Can they keep that momentum going this weekend?
There are never any guarantees in this business, but certainly the performance last time out would have boosted their confidence coming into this one.
Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. Good job yesterday from Valtteri Bottas. The Finn starts from pole position, and Max Verstappen lines up alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Vettel, Hamilton, Alexander Albon, Skip, Leclerc, Perez, Ricciardo, and Carlos Sainz. Stroll, Norris, Esteban Ocon, and Magnussen, Giovinazzi, Gasly, George Russell, and Nicholas Latifi. Grosjean and Daniel Kvyat completes the grid. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track and get this Grand Prix underway.
So very spicy. Kvyat actually gets an engine penalty, so we're guaranteed a good result in this race in our rivalry. Anyway, we decided to go for the standard 2-stop, a set of softs to 2 sets of mediums, and the tire wear on China is very bad apparently. So we just gotta be mindful on this stint. But anyways, here we go to 5 red lights for the Chinese Grand Prix, round number 4. And it's lights out, and away we go, trying to go up the middle towards Vettel and Hamilton, but they squeeze us out, so we go to the right, and we try to take the inside line, but Hamilton squeezes us out, and we're not exactly confident going around turn 1 and turn 2. We're struggling at the wheel. You can see how we're jerking that wheel to the right as we a little more smooth heading into turn 3, and out of turn 4, heading towards the kink of turn 5. But Albon is right on our tail. As you can see, he's trying to go on the outside, but we have the inside line. We both brake, but he's a little later on the brakes, and he squeezes us, but we just hit the apex. We're alongside. We're going side by side, heading into turn 7, and, well, we managed to carry more speed in. And, wow, I'm stuck. That was a crazy race start. And while it doesn't look like Albon was that close to us, here's the replay just to show exactly what happened. So we're heading into what would be turn 6. Sorry, turn 6, and you can see just how close we are. But we're like you can put a piece of paper between us, and that's how close we are. But no contact was made, and we managed to carry more speed out of that corner, which is amazing. But anyways, on the second lap, Albon's doing the same move again. We brake and we do the same move, but Albon manages to carry more speed as we're straddling the curb. We take too much curb into that turn. As we head into the flat out of turn 7, we put a little more speed, hoping to maybe, give him some space, but we give him too much space. We go way too wide, and Albon takes our position. So we go from P5, and we basically swap back to what we were before. We try to go, but we clip the grass, we lose the back end, and Leclerc is trying to get in a piece of the action, but he just doesn't as we plow on ahead. That was chaotic. That could have been bad. Anyways, here we are. This is Albon's point of view as he's heading back into, this is the turn 6 maneuver he did. As you can see, we have the inside line, but we just don't carry enough speed because we're spending too much time on the curb. So Albon, with a clean run through the turn, takes us over. And as you can see, we try to... Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking there, honestly. And then here, I don't know what I was thinking here either. Like, we're pretty much off the ground. Yeah. The back tires hit the curb. I'm sorry. I'm trying to, too many things going through my head right now. Leclerc, as you can see, just pokes his nose in, but we just managed to get on ahead. We take the bollard out on turn 16, which... yeah, anyway, DRS is open, and we're already going to pit on this coming lap. So we try to put on a good out lap, but the tire wear is just so high around China that we just have to pit early, and we're the only ones pitting on lap 3. So hopefully we can get the undercut on these guys, but that's a lot to say because we're still so bunched up. It's only 3 laps, so no real huge gaps have been created. As our crew puts us on a set of mediums, 2.7, not bad. It's not a bad pit stop by any means, but it's not a Red Bull, you know, 1.9 second pit stop. But anyways, coming out of the pit lane, and we're dead last right now. So we've got it all to do, but hopefully we can, with the high tire wear, we can put some wear on these tires. We can get some more grip on these guys who most of them are probably on the softs. I say as I realize everyone at the back is running the medium tires, so they're probably trying to go for like at least a 1 stop. That or they've pit already, but we passed Sainz, so we're not dead last anymore. And Sainz pit really early, and we've already developed a 6-second gap, so we must have gotten some damage at some point up the road. I don't exactly remember. I think it was P10 in the starting grid. I don't know. Anyways, here we are. Great slingshot heading out of turn 13, and this is just one of the many times we'll pull a move on this DRS straight. That being said, we don't have DRS, but the slipstream is so strong. We put the overtake button on. Oh my gosh, why can't I do it? And we brake really late past Latifi, and we just managed to slow it down. Not the cleanest corner, but because the Williams is such a bad car, we're able to pass him with ease. As you can see here, Latifi's braking around the 200s, but we were braking around the 150, 100 meter board, so thankfully we were able to slow the car down. If we had locked up, that would have just been, we would have just sailed on into the wall most likely. Yeah. Anyways, here we are, and we set the fastest lap of the Grand Prix on lap 6. So in an Alfa Romeo, that just shows how good the tire wear is. And here's Vettel coming out of the pits, but he gives us room because, well, he's on his out lap essentially. And I think I messed up in lap and out lap earlier on in the video, but that's okay. I'm a noob. I'm allowed to make mistakes, I say to the F1 community. But anyways, here we are. Look at this slingshot. Kvyat, our rivals ahead of us, and we're stuck in the slipstream, but we get DRS this time. And we're going to see if we can make this a double overtake on Kvyat and Grosjean. As we have the DRS, we don't put it into overtake. I guess I'm saving it for some reason, and oh, that's why. Because you can see Russell's going very slow ahead of this pack, ahead of this train. So there's really no room to make a move right now. And Vettel's wants a piece of the action. He's probably the best car out of this pack, out of this train. So he has the best chance of overtaking all of us. But here we are. We're heading into, this is turn 6 again, and ooh! Okay, that was something. Kvyat tries to pull an Albon on us, but we just managed to... Wait, that's not Kvyat. Yeah, Kvyat's on our side. Sorry, I saw 2. I was really confused, but that was Bottas behind us. And here we are, slingshot into turn 13, and great launch. We're passing Grosjean. We don't even have the DRS open, but we have our overtake button on, and that's what we leave it on as we open the DRS, and we're heading on Russell. We're going to see if we can make this... We pull the same move, but we brake way too late. We're braking around like the 50-meter board, so we go really wide. We have to take the escape road back onto the track, and Grosjean and Russell pass us, and that allows Bottas and Kvyat to catch up, but we have a great exit out of turn 16. Russell's slow. We turn on the DRS, and we pass him with ease. So great move by us, and after that terrible take into turn 14, and Grosjean, here we are. We have more speed. We're carrying speed towards Grosjean right now, who's being held up by Albon on the hard tires. So Albon, after having been such a nuisance in the beginning, oh wait, we lose the back end to who? Wow. Okay, Bottas, like, the Mercedes is fast, but he just popped out of nowhere, and he actually gave us a nudge, so we lost the back end and lost some speed. So Russell is getting his nose in a little bit, but we just managed. We take that corner really messy. Our tires on the gravel, but we just managed. But Bottas on the softs. Very weird strategy by Mercedes, but it's paying off. He's very rapid right now. But as you can see, slow-mo replay. You see Bottas really taking the inside of that turn, but we've already taken it, so really there was no need for him to go in that far. I just realized I'm shouting on the audio levels. I apologize for your eardrums, but Bottas, yeah, as you can see, Bottas completely upsets the balance of our car. But here we are, great slingshot, third and 13, but we have a bit of slipstream there as well. So Bottas, oh, he pulls out, but he almost runs. We almost run into the back of Bottas. But here we are, DRS, ERS, and we pass him and Grosjean to take P10 on the road. That's amazing work. This is how powerful the back straight is on this circuit. It's so long, and with the DRS, we just have such so much leeway in order to make a move. We passed Bottas without the DRS even, but Bottas pulling out, trying to make a move on Grosjean, really almost caused a calamitous accident for us. And now we're facing Albon again. So we're rematching. We're just sparring up against Albon this race. This is just a tasty battle. But Bottas passes us again on the soft, and ooh, we have to go wide because, well, Bottas again upsets the balance of our car, and we get a warning for a collision of Bottas. So the Finn is being very aggressive right now. Thankfully, we didn't pick up any damage on the front wing, which, to be fair, the last 3 races have picked up damage. So this, we need to fix. We need to make sure we don't get a front wing. We don't need to get a front wing replaced again. But anyways, here we are. Bottas is ahead, hitting slingshot at turn 13 again. And keep in mind, so much action has happened to us, and we're only like 10 laps into this race. We get the DRS somehow. I guess we were in the DRS detection zone before Bottas started pulling away. Actually, no, Bottas is ahead of Albon. But oh, we brake late, and there's just a pack of 2 cars. There's 4 cars ahead of us, but they're running side by side. That's crazy. Not much space to go with on the road, but I'm so fed up. I decided to go wide, deliberately out of turn 16. For some reason, the track limits and the stewards don't call us out, and we pass both Albon and Bottas to take P9. What an amazing move, just stretching the track limits in a way. And we try to make a move around Magnussen, and that's not so graceful. We end up pushing Magnussen along, and that just slows us down enough to get Albon past us. So yeah, the move we just pulled out of turn 16 was all for naught, and we're trying to regain it again, but we just not enough space. We kind of give Albon a little love tap on the back, and we unsettle the car again. We're just offline, like we've lost our mojo, and Bottas on the outside tries to overtake us, and with the softer compound, he manages just to do just that. Oh man, all the work I've just done has gone absolutely out the window. But here we are, DRS on the main straight, onto lap 12 now, and Magnussen's ahead of us, but we're faster. We pull out of the slipstream and into turn 1, and Magnussen is the inside, but we managed to get back on the racing line and block him out. Amazing work from us to try and hold the position. Now we're in the points now, with no time penalties unlike last race, and a good front wing. So we're in a good position now to get some good points without any major incidents, hopefully, as we're in the slipstream of Albon. A little harder than Magnussen, but we still manage because the slipstream is so strong right now with the DRS, and we head into turn 1, and we pass him cleanly, and now we're up behind Pierre Gasly, but Albon pops out of nowhere. This is a amazing battle with the Red Bull driver, a battle we shouldn't be having, technically, and Leclerc is coming in again. Leclerc's just poking his nose every time he and Albon are scrapping it out on track. But here's the replay on the overtake into turn 1. And I thought job was done, but I went way too wide, and Albon's planted because the Red Bull arguably is the better car, so obviously it's going to have the better traction. And Leclerc is coming alongside, so you can just see just how much we need those chassis and those aero upgrades on this car, as Leclerc is still right behind us, but we get up behind Albon. We're going to see if we can get a great slingshot into turn 13, as we've done so many times before. And here we go. We get on the curb, and oh god. Oh my, wow. Okay, that was fortunate. Like, we spun out, and we lose all the positions. We're back at P17, and we almost lose the back end again as we try to get back up the speed out of the grass. But how did that happen? Our front tires are kind of shredded, but I don't know how that happened. Well, here's a replay again. We're going to see exactly what happened. We go on the inside of Albon, trying to get a good move in. Ooh. Okay, I have an hypothesis. I think I know what happened that caused us to go 360 Spinella. Here's the replay, slow-mo, and yeah, you can see Albon squeezing us out into the weird sort of long, sort of roundabout of turn 16, and you can see our tires on the grass, and it's at that moment, as I try to correct the car, well,
It was at this moment that he knew. He f***ed up.
Yeah, I did not time that audio very well, but as you can see, we spin out, go 360, and we're so, like, on the helicopter footage, we're so lucky to not get our front wing removed. And again, good luck is on our side. We're up in P12 already without having making a move because everyone was pit that lap. So our huge mistake didn't have as much repercussions as we thought we would. As we enter the back straight, we're approaching Ocon, DRS, ERS. Ocon gives us a space. He tries to squeeze us out, but we're carrying so much speed, he has to pull out, and we slow the car out down just enough. Not a very good apex. We did not hit the apex at all of turn 14, but we made the move count. Onto lap 15, and now the pit box opens for us, and we need to, honestly. The tires on our car are so shredded, but we're going to see if we can make one more move on the McLaren of Lando Norris, running a far better race than he did in Vietnam. Can't blame him. Vietnam is a terrible track, and here we go. We try to make the move work on Norris, and I'm sorry, I'm so happy. Like, this is the first time we pulled a switchback properly. On Lando, we gotta play this again. It's not very exciting, I'm sure, to many F1 fans who have seen switchbacks all their life, or have been able to do it on the game, but I've never been able to do a switchback. But as you can see, we go on the outside, and because we have better tire grip, somehow, because Lando's hards are just not very good racing tire, I guess, right now, we managed to pass them. But, we lose the back end again, heading into turn 12. And I can explain. So basically, my console only records footage for half-hour sections. So I had to re-record it. I paused it, but I was in the middle of a turn, and by the time I pulled out, I was still on the power. So I lose the back end, and that caused me to spin, and Norris passes us. So we're back into P10. Not the best in-lap we could have done, honestly, but we're heading into the pits to switch onto a new set of mediums. So hopefully we can replicate the pace we had on the start of our second stint as we head into the pit box. And again, the footage actually cuts out again, so there's an awkward cut after the pit crew changes the tires. And for once, we don't have to get our front wing changed, so hopefully we can keep this up. 2.7 seconds again. So at least our crew is consistent. But anyways, here we are in the slipstream of Vettel in P18 right now. Vettel's not running a very good race ever since he came out of his first pit stop. But we have the DRS, and the ERS is open. Here we go. We're in the slipstream of Sebastian Vettel. We're seeing if we can make a move on Grosjean as well. But Vettel is the one who gets the better move, better exit. We have to slow right down, hopefully not trying to break our front wing. And we lose so much time that we have to wait until lap 19 to make a move count. But we get the better exit on Vettel again out of turn 13. That slingshot for us is amazing. We pass by Grosjean with the ERS and DRS open. And we don't even need to pull a late braking maneuver. We managed to get them before turn 14. So we're on the tail end of Magnussen. We're going to see if we can make this move count. We're going to stay in a slipstream. So that way when the DRS opens on the main straight, we can make this count. And here we are. DRS is available. ERS on. And we're in the slipstream. Magnussen and the Haas just slower than us. And so we're able to pass him with relative ease. The medium compound is that much stronger on this track because of the high tire wear. Here's the replay, as you can see. Awkward angles, but you can see how we managed to pass Sebastian Vettel before we even used the DRS. So that just shows how powerful the slingshot is out of turn 13 onto this main straight. Which, that being said, I wish we could have overtaken on better corners or made more spectacular overtakes. But there we go, and here's the move on Magnussen. Again, so basically the DRS straights are the only places I've been able to overtake people, basically. And here we are, back onto Norris. No, that's Sainz. I'm so sorry. Anyway, fastest lap of the Grand Prix for us, too. So, clearly the pace is good on the medium tires on this track. And we'll see if we can make the two-stop work, despite having such terrible mistakes. Magnussen's out of the Grand Prix just now. As you can see, here's his... Here's how it happened, and his engine just gives out. So, having reliability issues so early. Whoa! Okay, that could have been dangerous. He almost took out Vettel there. Yeah, that could have been bad. Like, I don't know why he tried to go back out onto the racetrack. I guess because the escape road was just nearby, so he just had to carry on a little more. But, yeah, anyways, we passed by our rival Kvyat with ease around turn 6. So, you know... I take it back. We were able to overtake some people, and now we're on the tail end of his teammate Gasly. As you remember, the AlphaTauris in Bahrain gave us a heap of trouble, but this time they're pretty complacent as we managed to navigate around turn 9 and turn 10 to pass by Gasly. So here's the replay. Turn 6, very, very nice. Still within track limits according to the stewards. And then again on Gasly. So the Alpha Tauris this race, not causing as much trouble as we thought they would. In reality, I believe, well, actually it's been me. I've been causing all the trouble this race. Anyway, here we are, DRS straight again, and you guessed it, we're going to make a move on our teammate Giovinazzi, and team orders are probably in play, telling Gio, hey, I'm faster. Solo's faster, get out of the way, and he does. So we're up into P11, we're just one place outside of the points, and Daniel Ricciardo, the man who people thought was going to be our rival, comes out, and we set the fastest lap, but we set 2 red sectors before. Our first 2 sectors were red, but the last sector, this shows how strong our slingshot into the 3rd sector is. We're so fast. As we approach Ricciardo, he squeezes us out just like Ocon. We have to go 1 tire on the grass. That could have been risky. Ricciardo breaks late. It's typical Ricciardo. But we still managed to pull the move off. And again, and now, speaking of his teammate, here's Ocon. And we're going to pull the same move on the same straight as we did on his teammate. 2 red sectors, keep in mind. On the grass, again, exact same move on the Renaults. And we managed to make it work, heading out of turn 14, and we're up into P9. So we're in the points. We're going to at least get 2 points out of this race. Let's see if we can get some more as we head on to the main straight, and we're checking our tires and our front wing, and we do it again with 2 red sectors. We still managed to get the fastest lap by 4/100ths of a second. If that just shows how strong it is, but we have to catch up to Leclerc, but there's yellow flags on the main straight. So I was a little worried. I thought that because under yellow flag, you can't pass the car ahead of you. There's no overtaking. So we have Leclerc's out. So we inherit P8 on track with ease. But how did that happen? Here's the replay on the DRS straight. Everything looks good. And, like, what? He just goes straight on. I mean, he definitely stopped. Like, was there some engine failure? Let's listen to the throttle on this main straight. Yeah, something gives up on Leclerc's car. But, like, talk about fate. Talk about, like, having some greater power at work. We needed to pass Leclerc, and the car just stops ahead of us. So we get a free place. Hamilton wins the Grand Prix. Great work from him. This is, like, the 3rd race he's won. He's won 3 out of 4 of the races, but we finished in P8. Not a bad position at all. And, well, yeah, we'll count our blessings considering just how hard we had to fight for in that race with the mistakes, and we get driver of the day. So overall, pretty good, I'd have to say.
So another fantastic victory for the Silver Arrows. Talk to me, Ants. What was it that set them apart from the competition today?
Well, I know it's a bit of a boring answer, but the truth is they simply had the best speed package on the day, and a driver who knows how to take advantage of that. It doesn't matter how much time you spend poring over the stats and planning strategies if you can't keep the pace, and our winner today showed they could do both.
And I can see the drivers starting to approach the podium for the victory celebrations. A real team victory today. Everybody played their part. Congratulations then to Mercedes, your race winners today.
So in the end, Hamilton, like I said, he's won 3 out of 4 of the 4 races already this season, but really the team that had the best race was Red Bull, with both drivers finishing on the podium. So Albon again showing immense pace, which is so tragic considering he doesn't have a drive next year. Okay, I'm going to put my Albon fanboy fantasies aside. Bottas in P4, so not a very good race from him considering he was on pole position to start this race. So I don't exactly know what happened, but P8 for us, our worst point scoring position, but not our worst race. Vietnam was definitely worse than this, and I will take this over Vietnam any day. That being said, Gio made up about 2 spots? No, 1 spot. So not great from him, but hey, I mean, like, you know, at least he's making overtakes. And in the standings, we're P6 in the Drivers' Championship standings again. Like, and an Alfa Romeo, this is incredible pace. Incredible driving from us. Despite the fact that we had 2 spins in this race and tons of mistakes, we still managed to place in P6. So we're getting used to the higher difficulty that we gave ourselves during the third race. But thankfully, as you can see, there's some, like, the drivers are fighting back a little more. That fight with Albon was amazing. That was great fun. Although Albon did obviously get the better of us, he should have. But that's what you expect: a Red Bull against an Alfa Romeo. And speaking of Alfa Romeo, we're still P4 in the constructors, so we're carrying this team into, like, basically best of the rest in the midfield, which is crazy to think of. But anyway, guys, that was a Chinese Grand Prix, and we got a sizable lead on our rival Kvyat. So maybe we should have gone for Ricardo. Maybe. We'll go for a harder rival in our next rivalry matchup. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, leave a comment down below, like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, hit that bell notification, and well, thank you for joining me. New videos on the way soon. I'm Isolation Gamer 05. Thank you for coming, stay safe, and peace out.